San Diego, under the Coronado Bridge, lied a little piece of land. A little piece of land that the Chicano community of Logan Heights wanted to make into a park. A park where all the chavalitos could come and play in, so they wouldn't have to play in the street and get run over by a car. A park where all the viejitos could come in the tarde and just sit down and watch the sun go down. A park where all the familias could come and just get together on a Sunday afternoon and celebrate the spirit of life itself. But the city of San Diego said, chale, we're gonna make a highway patrol substation here. So on April the 22nd, 1970, La Raza of Logan Heights and other Chicano communities got together and they walked on the land and they took it over with their picks and their shovels and they began to build their own park. And today, almost 20 years later, that little piece of land under the Coronado Bridge in San Diego is known to people everywhere as Chicano Park. ¡Órale, raza! ¡Vamos al parque! Yeah.
Barrio Logan, zip code 92113, is found on the southern eastern part of the city of San Diego. The community is positioned between downtown San Diego to the north, Interstate 5 to the east, as well as the Unified Port of San Diego and United States Naval Base San Diego along San Diego Bay to the west, a national city to the south. The naval base located in Barrio Logan greatly influences the number of residents in Barrio that are in the armed forces. When driving around Barrio Logan, you come across multiple barred-up windows, Chicano art, a younger community, graffiti, unorthodox zoning, and closed down businesses or commercial areas with leasing advertisement. Major factors that contribute to the barred windows and graffiti found in the community is the high level of crime and gang activity in Barrio Logan. This chart demonstrates the crime rates in Barrio Logan compared to California and United States averages. Murder risk, rape risk, robbery risk, and motor vehicle theft risk are higher than the California's averages in Barrio Logan area code 92113. According to voiceofsandiego.org, police say some of San Diego's most active gangs call Barrio Logan their homes. Not only are crimes higher than the California average in Barrio Logan, but households in Barrio Logan are mostly low income, and 70% are living below poverty level compared to 16% in general for San Diego, which can explain the multiple abandoned or foreclosed homes and homeless living near the freeways. There has been issues with zoning in Barrio Logan ever since the construction of the I-5 and Coronado Bridge in the 1950 and 1960. In the first image, it shows how Barrio Logan is currently zoned, and you can see that commercial, residential, and industrial are all intertwined, which poses many problems. There is a conflict between the industrial community proposal and the residential community's proposal. The industrial community proposes more maritime commercial, neighborhood commercial, heavy commercial, and office commercial, whereas the residential proposes more neighborhood commercial, commercial, and heavy commercial, not including the maritime commercial. They both propose more residential, more neighborhood commercial, less prime industrial, less intertwining of industrial and residential, another school, and heavy commercial. Hopefully these conflicts may be resolved one day. since they have more in common than different. There are many issues that conflict because of zoning besides political reasons, like the residents' health because of living in close proximity to industrial zones. This affects residents as much as workers in the area. Because of the freeways and heavy industry in Barrio Logan, there are toxins such as particulate matter, carbon monoxide, oxides of nitrogen, and benzene, and are emitted into the air and have threatened people's health in the community. This photograph was taken of a house by me in front of the NASCO, a shipping company in Barrio Logan, at a three-way intersection surrounded by purely industry. This poses serious health threats to anyone residing here, such as asthma, cardiovascular disease, reducing lung function, impaired lung development in children, low birth weight in infants, childhood leukemia, and premature death. Other than air pollution, road noise may play a role in the health problems associated with roadway exposure. Considering the low income of residents, high crime, high pollution, and lack of commercial zoning, it may explain why there are multiple unoccupied or closed down businesses. Exploring Barrio Logan, the few commercial sites that were open for business were liquor stores, a wig center, taco shops, and a few food places in the newly developed Mercado del Barrio. Barrio means neighborhood in Spanish, and for many years this neighborhood has been exploited by industry and freeways and is now shaded by concrete roofs and made unappealing. But the community fights back through pride and art. Stepping into Barrio Logan, you are guaranteed to see Chicano murals along any buildings. Frida Kahlo is a well-known Mexican painter whose self-portraits are admired throughout the world. Cesar Chavez, a symbol of hope and admiration to the community, they usually use the slogan "Si se puede," which is one of the strikes Chavez had. Desiree and I had the honor to sit in a real Azteca Chichimeca dance practice in which it is part of the Aztlan history, which are indigenous people of Mexico before the Spanish invasion. The leader of this dance group organization is Juan Flores. He gave us an insight as to what he thought was important for the community, which is to help keep the youth out of trouble and to preserve their origins. During the 1940s, Barrio Logan was the second largest Mexican community.
Tratando de hacer es tratar de sacar a los niños de las drogas, que no están nuestros niños, ¿verdad? Para evitar que todo eso pase. Aquí hay disciplina, se les enseña mucho el respeto, ¿verdad? Y más que nada, pues que sigan las tradiciones, que no pierdan principalmente nuestro idioma, que ya ves que llegan aquí puro inglés.
Ajá,
ya no
sí.
quieren, e incluso pues deberían de hablar hasta náhuatl.
Youth today living in Barrio Logan are living a cross-culture life where they must learn and practice their native culture as well as their American, much like many other cultures experience today as well. Established by Chicano activists on April 22, 1970, Chicano Park has received international recognition as major public art site for its commanding mural paintings of the past and present struggle of Mexican Chicano history. Chicano Park has been listed on the California Register of Historical Resources since 1997 and on the National Register of Historic Places in 2013, and every year is celebrated. Every month, an art crawl event is held, and many artists showcase their work, bringing pride and history into their art. Barrio Logan is made up primarily by younger residents. It has a high young population with its average at 28 compared to downtown at 44, mainly because many households would consist of families with many children as well. With that into account, the youth population is very important for the community, so it is concerning that there are not very many resources open and available to not only children but adults neither. Not to mention, the education levels in Barrio Logan are predominantly less than high school educated, which may be concerning. The main running and open facility in Barrio that focuses on youth is the Barrio Station, which is mostly a recreational and resource center. It focuses on positive activities ranging from gang diversion programs, counseling, computer labs, and gymnasium. It serves 200 to 300 youths daily and also offers intergenerational support for seniors, according to Rachel Ortiz, executive director. At first, she seemed resistant to talking to Antoinette, as if we were there to judge her or this facility. She gave us some informational brochures and an additional contact email for the director, who we never heard back from. After visiting Barrio Station, Antoinette interviewed with Jacqueline Corona, the Associate Clinic Director of Logan Heights Family Health Center. Although it is named Logan Heights Center, it is located within Barrio Logan. What was most striking was her response to, "What is something your facility offers that their others do not?" She responded that 20% of the clients are homeless and offer case management for them. Overall, the social services in Barrio Logan are very slim. Many of the locations we found and sought out were either not within the boundaries or boarded up and vacated. Family Health Center seems like a great medical provider in a very accessible location, but they do not really offer a sense of community. Barrio Station maybe had that sense a bit more, which might be why the employee was a bit protective, like we were on her turf. But that feeling of being threatened might be a result of the cutbacks on social services that have not been very successful in Barrio. Something that has been concerning the community is the renewing of the city because they are worried about gentrification, which is an ongoing trend that increases property values and displaces families with low socioeconomic status and also small businesses. These photographs demonstrate a few locations that are newer and have a modern design to them in order to make the city look new. Although this may seem like a great idea to help improve the city, it also means that some of the culture or history may go forgotten. But residents are doing their best efforts to retain the history and pride they hold by naming buildings after Cesar Chavez and opening stores that the community would mostly enjoy, like the Mercado. Here we will go over the strengths and weaknesses we have found to be true about Barrio Logan, the rich culture of the community, which is very prevalent with Chicano Park and the murals, the organization and activists that are keeping Barrio Logan's history alive, for example, like Juan Flores and his dancing organization. Chicano Park Monument, being a monument, makes that location very important, not only to the community, but to San Diego as well, which is protecting it. Strong pride in the community, the economic gain from the naval station, although it is something that many residents are not happy about, it is bringing economic gain. The community's courage in addressing any issues that concerns them for the community and ability to stand what they believe is right for their families and culture. This ties it into the community going against the gentrification and renewing of the city. Their ability to acknowledge their weakness and take precautionary measures. This ties into how Juan Flores felt like keeping his children busy with dancing and learning about the culture was a great way to keep them out of drugs and any harm's way. And for the weaknesses, the high levels of pollution has been directly impacting the residents' health, the low levels of education, low household incomes, lack of resources, like Antoinette had trouble finding a suitable resource center which was still open, industry corruption, which has led to these zoning laws being unorganized, unorganized zoning, lack of funding, which is part of the reason why there are many resources available or resources that are being cut off, lack of businesses. I saw a lot of closed and shut down businesses or open slots available for leasing, and the gentrification which is happening in Barrio Logan, and obviously the residents are aware of that happening and are doing their best efforts to prevent it from furthering on.